Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to High Performance Garage Podcast. Today we're joined by the Hay boys. We've got Dean and we've got Rhys.
Hello.
How are we, boys?
Hey, good mate.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
No, thanks for jumping on, boys. Let's get right into it, mate. Let's jump on to who is Mr. Dean Hay?
All right. Well, I'm carpenter. Grew up on the Central Coast. Pretty much just been in construction since I left school.
Yep.
Always been a rev head. Wanted to be a mechanic. Didn't get into it. Just sort of fell into carpentry and sort of grew up driving cars around here in the early 90s and mid 90s around the Central Coast. So it was a pretty good car scene, pretty good local car scene. I think your old man would know a lot of the people that I know, and there was some awesome cars getting around back in the day, you know, engineered LJ Tiranas and big block Chev HQs and all sorts of really cool old school streeters and stuff when you could register just about anything. And always into it, and just always sort of had a passion for dirt bikes and cars, and never really had a HQ 4-door back in the day. It was pretty tough. Had a 355 in it and a top loader, and but I couldn't afford to run it. I was 17 and apprentice wages, and just drove it into the ground.
And fuel was cheap back then.
Yeah, fuel was cheap, but I used to I'd back it into the tyre shop and put retreads on it every second weekend, and we wouldn't bang tyres on the street back then, but you would you'd certainly wear the rears would wear down a bit faster than the front, that's for sure.
Do you reckon that HQ is what started everything for you?
I was into it before that. We were into it at 14, 15, I had a mate that's brother had the nice couple of nice cars back in the day, VK Calais, and he had a couple of quick Fords, and from Foresters Beach. We grew up at Foresters Beach, and we just took to it in our sort of early teens. Yeah. And my first car was an XD with a 302, like a factory XD with a 302, and it had I didn't know what I was doing, you know, back then, and just drive around. And
the car scene back then to today is a lot different.
It was heaps different, mate. Yeah, like some of the shit that used to go down, you know, there's like every Saturday night you'd be illegal sort of off-strip or on-street racing going on, and out at Chittaway and up Pete's Ridge, and a few people watching this will know about
good old Kooragang days.
Yeah, in Kooragang Island, And Pete's Ridge was good. All the Sydney boys, Western Sydney guys would come down to Pete's Ridge on Saturday night, or they'd come down the entrance, and you'd have 50, 60 cars head up to Pete's Ridge, race. A couple of burnouts. The burnouts weren't really a thing back then. It was, I'm talking like early to mid 90s, and like you'd do a burnout, you know, to warm your tyres up, or but as far as like popping tyres, and even I'm not 100% certain, but even at Summernats way back in the day, I think it wasn't until sort of years later when actually every single car in the burnout comp would pop their tyres. A burnout would just be smoke your tyres up and drive off. But it was a pretty cool time to be around, and that. So yeah, mate, it was awesome. There was a lot of tough cars around, but then I went sort of towards the bikes that was more affordable, and went off sort of travelling and moved to Western Australia. And, left in the year 2000, Central Coast, just to get away from it all. Sort of broke up with a chick and had a few bad habits, and just left it all behind me, and went to WA with a couple of mates in a ute, and went fruit picking and working in the mines, and then ended up living in Perth, and met a chick in Perth, and had a couple of daughters over there. I've got 2 adult daughters in Perth now. They're Sky and Crystal. They're 20, 21 and 22 years old, and they're over there, and only see them sort of a couple of times a year, but keep in touch and
get the Jemmy on the car trailer, mate, and go over to Perth Motorplex.
We talk about it all the time, like motivation or something like that. And,
the Plex pad looks good.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a go on that.
I know. The guys on some of our group chats have been talking about all these red center nats and northern nats and all that, and I'd love to go to every one of them, but if we do a real long one, I reckon it would make sense to go to Perth, because I've got some mates over there too. I had a good mate over there when I lived over there who's used to build race engines for Kostecki stuff, and he went to the States and did like a course with the Top Fuel team and stuff, and He's actually got a VH, tubbed, blown big block VH skid car over there that he keeps local, takes it around Perth and stuff. And yeah, I think he rodded it a while back and he's just sort of getting it back together. But yeah, but no, it would make sense to go to Perth if we were going to do one of these long distance ones.
Yeah, what do you guys
Put a car in a truck or something.
Yeah, go over there.
It's on the bucket list. Yeah. It's on the bucket list, mate. That and Rocky are the two that I'm keen to do.
Rocky looks good.
Yeah.
Rocky looks good. I like the street drags that they do. Yeah, the street drags look good.
Yep. Yeah. Well, everyone reckons that you spend a lot of time using your car there.
Yeah.
And that's what we like about Spring Nats and Bathurst. We've done a couple of Bathurst Auto Fests, and we did the last Spring Nats, and just the amount of time you get to use your car.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the other thing. Events these days, like at some of them, you don't really get to use the car. You get them off the trailer.
Yep.
Scrutineered.
Yep.
Put tyres on, and you wait in the lineup for an hour.
Yep. And I was never super excited about the capture the flags and the motor car and all that sort of stuff. But when you roll it all into one weekend where you've got those options and that, it does make for a lot of fun. And even with this thing, roll racing, we did some roll racing at Bathurst up the main straight, and it was
Bathurst Autofest, isn't it?
Autofest,
yeah.
It was
Autofest,
heaps more fun. Like I never really had any desire to do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's got no back brakes and a bit sketchy sort of trying to pull it up, but yeah, it was a pretty safe environment to do it in, and plenty of braking area and room to sort of slow the car down, and there's some quick cars down there. Got chopped a couple of times. But
I would really love to jump on. How did Top Gun come a thing?
oh, the company. Oh, the
Company,
well, the
car,
company,
everything, man. Yeah, we would all love
It's
to
funny
know.
because it just evolved. Like when I started the business that I have now, I've been going for about 13, 14 years. I had the idea I was like a carpenter, slang for a carpenter is a chippy, you know.
Yep.
And if you're considered a gun chippy, like you're a good chippy, you know. And I was really going to call it gun chippies, and it just sounded a bit weird. A lot of people wouldn't really understand, wouldn't put two and two together, and it just evolved to Top Gun. And it's pretty funny actually because I cop a lot of shit over the business name, Top Gun, and I had you probably remember I used to have the decals down the side,
I do remember
the
that,
business
yeah.
decals, and
I think it's creative.
it was cool.
Yeah,
Like
cool.
if this thing was playing the game, if we were playing the game at a higher level and winning pro class, or if we were even in pro class or and placed it in pro class, I probably would have left it on there. But it sort of felt a little bit wanky after a while, like going out there and like, quite often not even making finals in NA class and stuff. But I was on there to promote the business and try and help out with a tax deduction.
From a spectator, it stood out.
Yeah,
it really stood out.
It was pretty popular. Like the kids loved it and that, and the car was pretty popular when it had the decals down the side. But the business name, like it's funny you sort of cop a fair bit of shit over the business name, which I just water off a duck's back, mate. I couldn't care less. But and then that just sort of evolved and you know, the business, we do commercial fit outs mainly now. We don't do a lot of carpentry as such. We just do a lot of new car dealerships and schools and hospitals and all sorts of just internal fit out work. And the company's grown and shrunk back down again. Like we had 30 blokes at one stage and back down to sort of 10 at the moment, around 10, which is more manageable. But we've just come off a pretty quiet 6 months, but we've got some big jobs in front of us, and we're starting to travel again. And Rhys is, we were going to lay off the burnouts a bit this year because Rhys has been racing his dirt bikes, but he done his, at the end of the last season, last lap, last corner, last race of the year, he broke his elbow. Didn't you, mate?
Yep.
On the last corner, last lap, last race of the whole season. And he went high side and broke his elbow. And then it was kind of unlucky, but it was lucky too, because by the time the race season started up, he was good to go again because they have a big break over Christmas. Yeah. And then he done his collarbone at a practice track out at private practice motocross track out at Denman. Done his collarbone. He's just about over that.
Dad needs to wrap you up in bubble wrap.
but because he's been laid up a little bit, we've been doing more burnouts than we thought.
Yeah.
We've got a few booked in. Like we've got like obviously Brashenats this weekend, which we're pumped, and there's some things we're doing at Brashenats that I'll get into soon. But Brashenats, and then we've got out at Leeton. Rhys is going to skid out at Leeton.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll have his AASA licence by the time we get out to Leeton.
Bloody oath, man, that's good.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because he skidded a few times, But this will sort of be official, and it's only a sort of tested tune anyway. It's like a burnout party. Nan's birthday, they call it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Jared runs that out there.
Yeah.
We last couple of times we've missed Leeton, and we love going out there.
It looks like a good pad.
Yeah, it's good pad. They're just the people, man, in the country. You know what it's like when you go to the country.
Yeah. My pop's from Parks.
The people are awesome. Yeah,
way out there.
Yeah. Well, Swifty Jack Mills from Parks.
Yeah.
And I think he's coming down to Leeton, and he's coming down to Brashnats, and
yeah.
So we got that coming up in June, at the end of last weekend of June. But it's the very next day after TGI Friday.
I did see Sydney Dragway post that up.
Yeah, so TGI Friday's the 28th, I think.
Yeah.
So we're skidding that, and I've actually emailed them and asked to get put in an earlier group.
Yeah.
Then we'll gun it down to Yass straight after that, get a room, and then get up early. Nathaniel's going to travel with us in mate.
Yep.
And so we'll both do TGI on the Friday night, gun it down to Yass, get a room, get some fast food, and try and get some sleep, and then straight out to Leeton. And Leeton's a party, man. Like, it's not uncommon to go out there and smash 4 or 5 sets off in a day.
I've heard that.
And then we're taking the swags, and there's going to be a few beers afterwards. And so that'll be a big weekend. And then 2 weeks after that, we go off to America.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have heard this.
Yeah.
You keen to jump onto that?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah. But wait, actually, before we do that, how did the Gemini become a thing? Like, how did you come into burnouts?
The Gemini. Look, honestly, you could probably call it a midlife crisis. Like, I'm 46 at the moment, and it's just something I've wanted to do for so many years. Been to so many summer nats as a spectator, and I'd go with 2 or 3 good mates, 2 in particular, Rubber Dog and Dane Rod. They know who they are if they're watching this. But and we had the best times.
Yeah.
We'd stay in the city. We'd always get rooms, eat out in the city, go to summer nats all day, get sunburned, smash the slushies, and end up at the bloody Moose Heads or whatever it is that they have, the friggin' the nightclub in the city. And we just, every year, like, we went for years and years and years, and every year I've got vague recollection of in the middle of the night being back at the motel room, like, munted. Next year we're bringing a car, man. We're bringing a car next year. And that went on for years and years and years. And then when the business was going okay and that, I don't know, I was always looking, you know, it's like when you're into cars and that, you're always looking.
Always on Marketplace.
Always on Marketplace. And this thing come up, and it was like kind of turnkey. I bought it off a dude, Cameron Percy from Colac. I think it was Colac. It's a couple of hours south of Melbourne. Yeah. And I took my truck, and I'm just like, you wanted 20 grand for it, and I just grabbed some cash. And I'm just
That's not bad for a turnkey burnout car.
Like, it needed work, obviously, but and it was turnkey because I got it back, and the first thing I did was took it off.
It was LS?
Yeah, it had the LS in it. So he'd done the tubs. He'd done the tubs. It had the 4-link. It had a big set of dragways on it. I've put the Simmons on it. It had the standard manifold. It had a VCM 710 cam. Yep. The motor internally is exactly the same. And, mate, I must have blown 200 sets off it. The motor's been unbelievable. And he told me that when I bought it. He said, oh, look, the motor's out of an SS with a cam. And so we put the dual throttling bodies on it. Yep. Didn't go supercharged. But I wanted something out of the bonnet just for looks, mate.
What is the engine combo?
At the moment, it's LS1 VCM 710 cam. Yep. It's got the Holly high ram. Yep. With dual throttle bodies. Yep. And it's been tuned a couple of times. Gingerbread Man tuned it. Mm-hmm. He got some pretty good numbers. It's making about 420 at the wheels.
In a Jemmy. That's plenty, mate. In a Jemmy.
Yeah. We persevered with the 4L60 for too long, for like 2 years, and it blew not long before a comp, and the transmission builder, he said, look, if you want to swap the power glide, you've got to build a new tail shaft, you've got to buy a converter, you've got to buy a shift, you've got to do all this. You're probably going to miss this comp. I forget what comp it was. It might have been Thrashing Ats. Yeah, it was a big one, and it was one we didn't want to miss, and he's like, I can quickly build this. So he built it back up, and we went and blew about another 100 sets off it, and he did say, he said, oh, you'll get another 100 sets out of it. And so he built the 4L60 back up, and then when it let us down the second time, I just bit the bullet. Mm-hmm. And we bought, I bought one of the, like, I couldn't find a decent power glide for the life of me.
I remember when you posted one up, like, they're hard to get.
They are.
You can't find them.
No, you can't. And the most amazing thing was, and it was right there in front of my face the whole time, I went and bought one of those ones from VPW. They freighted it up here. They had it up here like 2 days later. It was $4,900, rated to 700 horsepower, reverse pattern, full manual, trans brake, you name it, beautiful. And TCE done me a really nice 4,000 RPM store converter. And it's just, since I've done the power glide and the Storley, obviously I had to get a tail shaft built and all that and put it all together.
One piece?
Yeah, one piece tail shaft, Bruce from High Comp helped out heaps with all that side of it, and he built the cross member and stuff and got it in there, and it come with an aftermarket bell housing as well. So Cameron Doyle, who owns Wild One, he was doing a bit of work here. He's an electrician, but he's really handy with cars, and he cut the bell housing off and put the aftermarket bell housing on the power glide for me. Bowled it up. It's been flawless. We've done about 20 sets. It's going in for service tomorrow to High Comp actually. And done about 20 sets with the power glide. It's like a different car. Just, it feels like, and I explain this to people, car people are going to watch this and think I sound like a dumb carpenter. It feels like someone's taken a piece of steel and welded it from the yoke on the diff to the back of the crank. When you're in top gear, it's just locked in. Like there's no, I know it's funny people call the 4L60 a 4L slippery.
4L slippery,
Then a slippery converter and stuff, but the way it is now, when
it feels solid.
Yeah, I still start in first, because even though it's a light car and that, I just think, I'll just go through the motion. You're only in first for a second. You just hit the limiter in first and bang it straight in a second, and you just, you can just feel it putting every bit of power that you do have to the ground. And you know that it's in gear properly. And the 4L60s with aftermarket shifters are a nightmare. You never get them adjusted properly.
I run stock 4L60.
Yep.
Dead stock. Stock converter, everything. But I hope I'm not going to let out everybody's secrets here. I was told by a mate, delete first gear in the tune.
Yeah.
So my car starts in third. I click, second, sorry. Starts in second, click third, and as I come into the pad, click overdrive.
Yeah.
And it sings.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool in a car like that size to be able to hold overdrive in it,
It lasted longer than the LS.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people tell you with a 4L60 the overdrive gear is apparently the weakest gear in the box, but so that was it. And it had a Ford 8 3/4 diff in it, a real short little thing, but it's been built. Like Brucey got it built for me, he set it off, and it's got a spool in it and that. And so it's out of an old 1980 Mustang or something.
Indestructible.
Yeah, so it's not a 9-inch, it's a Ford 8 3/4, but it's solid as a rock, and for a car this size, it's good. And the 4Link's kind of like I don't know that it's a kit. I think it's like a bit of an improvised one. Like I wouldn't call it homemade, but
make it work.
But it's and the car's been pretty good. It handles a lot better since I lifted the front end up, put more rubber under the front. I used to have real skinny front runners, and it was.
It looks killer with these wheels under it.
I really like it.
I love the dish on the back of it.
It looks good. It's full of bog and that, but it's just been
Adds
heaps of fun.
character.
But it's been reliable, even with the 4L60. Like the last, like it was pretty good with the 4L60. The box started to let us down, but the motor's been unbelievable. Like it's just rev limiter. We'll get a 2-step on it, set at 6,800, and smashes the limiter pretty hard. I try to keep it off the limiter, but it sort of seems like it's limiter or nothing. But
they love it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
they love it.
Yeah, this thing does, and touch wood, it's been awesome. So, so we're going to take it to Brashnats on the weekend and hit the skid row, and because GMR skidders have sponsored that.
GMR sponsored.
Yeah, that's one of our new shirts behind. Hold the shirt up, Rhys. So we're going to be selling GMR merch on at Brashnats, and we're also going to Penrith for turn around, mate. So to the front. We're doing package deals too. We got it's pretty good quality, and we got a shitload. We got all the sizes. You can hang it back up, mate, if you want.
Yeah.
So we're doing a shirt, one of those shirts, a bucket hat, GMR Skidders bucket hat, and a stubby cooler for $50. And we're doing that, and it comes with that package deal comes with 3 raffle tickets to win a passenger ride in this or in Smoko, which is Neil's Colorado or Rodeo, Colorado.
He's turboed that now,
Yeah, it's got a rear mount turbo where the tow bar's meant to be. And had a little bit of trouble with the turbo getting started, but it's all sorted now.
Good.
And it's making good power. And it's, mate, I'll tell you what, like, if you went to Brashnats and you had $50 to spend on merch, and you bought that deal and you got 3 tickets and you went for a passenger ride in Neil's car or this thing, but especially Neil's, mate, you'd just be like, Talk about the
The
experience.
best
of a lifetime.
$50 that you can buy. Yeah.
See, he shortened that thing too. Neil, he shortened Smoko recently, and
He's getting some mad tippings.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
It rotates like it's like someone's driven a star picket through the center of the car and into the ground, and the car just rotates on its center axis. And yeah, I think where was it last? It was Good Friday. He tipped in like a 1080 tip in, and it's ironic. I was giving him a hard time because he shortened the thing and he went all the way to the end of the pad and hit that big tyre by just 2 inches, and I'm just like, man, you should have shortened your car an extra 2 inches. Like, that would have happened. I'm just joking about it. But yeah, 1080 and obviously putting in all the corners and that. But yeah, the GMR skidders thing was just a little we were sort of going to talk about, and it's just Neil started it. Like he owns Glossodia Mechanical Repairs.
Yeah.
Out near Windsor.
I've heard the boys, yeah.
Yeah, and him and his closer mates, the OGs as we call them, like him and Jack Harrison, Jack Has Lux.
Yep.
And Cameron in Wild One, they just came up with the GMR skidders brand, got some stickers made, started handing them out. And
it's become a thing.
It's become a thing, yeah, and it's kind of cool. Like, they've sort of stopped handing stickers out. Like, they've kind of got this thing where they sort of just don't want their sticker on every single person's car. And there's a little running joke that you kind of got to skid off the brake. And, you know, it helps if you if a couple of wall taps helps if you want a GMR skidder's sticker. So they're kind of, a lot of guys now sort of, you know, in the way we skid that, and we're not there to sort of win championships and stuff, but we just enjoy blowing the tyres off and having fun with our mates and getting off the brake a bit, you know, and taking the risks. Little wall tap here and there, and it's so they're like this the big stickers, the big window stickers. I run one front and back on this and run them with pride, and but it's been
I've spoken to
cool
a few of the GMR boys.
Yeah.
And top blokes.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, they'll give you the time of day.
Yeah. They're a good bunch of guys. It's a pretty funny thing happened recently because Rhys, Rhys Forrester, who owns Zero Fucks Burnout Car.
Yep. Yeah.
Rhys Forrester.
Yep.
Yeah. He was messaging me on Facebook and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna do a call out because he's like we've got one of the Khalidi cars.
Yep.
Where they've sort of been picked up a bit of a deal with Khalidi and that." And I was messaging him, we've been on the beers, and I'm like, we've got to get a fake beef going, man, like to build the hype. And we put it out on Facebook, and I put a little comment on there like, yeah, man, we've had our moments and all that, and like trying to create this fake beef so we could pump up the call out and make the call out funner. And no one took the bait because everyone knows them guys, and there's no beef, man. Like there never was, there never will be. Like there's all just so much respect and you know between the two crews and that, and yeah, it's just about sort of it's more just a thing with your mates and all that kind of thing, you know. And
that's the other thing. It's good just get out there with your mates, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Some people take it a little bit too serious.
Oh yeah, but you know like. At the level that some of these guys are skidding at, man, like my hat's off to them. And some of these guys, they turn up to these events and you look at their car and it's like they just built it yesterday and they finished it yesterday. And then you see them a month later at an event and it's the same. And like these things, this thing in particular, it's rough. You know, we've painted it a whole heap of times, got a fair bit of bog in it. It's had plenty of wall taps and that. And the underneath of it's covered in rubber and, you know, we scrape a bit off here and there. But it does the job. It gets the tyres off in 90 seconds and we have a great time doing it. But when the guys that are winning and you look at the way they skid, you look at their cars, you just look at their toolbox, mate, you know. And the way they're doing it, that's why they're on the podium. And I'm cool with that, you know. Like if I'm going to, you know, not maintain my car as well and not you know do the textbook type sort of skids that the judges love to see.
Yeah, if you want to win the event, go to what the judges want.
Tick the boxes.
Yeah, tick the boxes.
And not just the judges, just the car, like the presentation of your car, the revs. You know, like the guys. If you want to win NA in any of these big comps, you want to win the NA. Like if you want to be spinning 8,000 RPM, otherwise just forget about it. You know, because the difference between a car at 6, no matter what you do with the exhaust. Or what you do with your cam or anything like that. If an LS spinning at 6,800 compared to 8,000, it just sounds like two different cars. Yeah, two different motors, and we're not in a position to sort of run any sort of revs like that.
It's reliable. Nice. Yeah. You can get out there. Yeah. Your boy can jump in it as well.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I remember seeing I probably wouldn't be your first skid, but you skidded out at Hebburn Motorsport Park.
Yeah.
Mate, that tip-in, hands down one of the best tip-ins at that pad. That was absolutely nuts. I remember looking at the boys I was with and was like, wow. That was absolutely insane.
We've got to get back there, haven't we, mate?
Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
Let's jump on to Rhys for a sec.
Yeah.
Mate, what's it like skidding?
It's so fun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Where was your first skid, mate?
It was Windsor Nats at like the back paddock where you
I
just sat on the spot.
Windsor Nats, RIP.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
The last one.
Yeah.
What
an awesome day.
How do you find the burnout scene?
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
He's made heaps of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good mates with Shane Wood's son, Isaac.
Yeah.
Who else you got, mate? Send some shout outs to your mates on the pad.
Geordie.
Yeah, Geordie. Steve Cheris' son.
What's his name? His name's JR Skids.
Yeah.
He's from Heaven Road. He's got an AU Falcon that he's going to skid.
I have seen him.
Yeah,
I have seen him, yeah.
Also, my mate Brock.
Yep.
His name's, I think, G6 on Mang, that guy. And yeah.
Yeah, man. As a young bloke coming into the burnout scene, what do you want to achieve, mate? Where would you like to go in the burnout scene?
Just do a proper skid on a proper pad.
Just do a proper skid on a proper
Another
pad,
one. Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's where would be the goal of a burnout pad for you? Where would you love to skid?
I love Sydney Dragway.
Sydney Dragway,
Yep.
Yeah. Would there be a Pacific event?
Maybe just like TGI Friday.
Yeah. Unless you get two skids.
started.
Yeah.
Two skids, yeah.
Unless they let you into Rushnats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
If
brush
you
nuts.
get into Rushnats. Yeah.
Would Dad's car, or would you like to build your own car?
I'd like to build my own car, but
Yeah.
I'm fun. This one's still good.
Yeah.
Just use Dad's car for it today.
Yeah. So he'll have his AASA license
Yep.
in the next few weeks,
Yeah,
and next couple of weeks, and he's got some plates picked out. We won't reveal them today, but yeah, like it sort of goes with the whole Top Gun theme and that kind of thing, and it's his own plates that he'll screw onto this car and he'll skid this, and then sometime I've been promising him, like sometime in the next 6 to 12 months we're going to try and get him his own car.
Yeah, man.
And we want to get him something NA, like
reliable, mate.
Yeah. Like something half decent.
Yeah.
You know.
You throw a Kim in an LS.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're good to go.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What sort of car, or is it going to be a surprise?
What do you reckon, Rhys?
Oh, I reckon like a Corolla or something.
Corolla,
Like
yeah.
a Corolla, Dado Ute or something.
Yeah.
Something
Something small.
Something small and tubbed.
Yeah. Well, you've already got the padding down on this thing.
Yeah.
Bloody
He
hell.
drives this thing really well. He drove it down at Stall under lights. They had a thing for the young guns, they called it, and there's
I
some
did
footage.
see that
We'll
video.
upload some footage, and
Yeah.
they had flamethrowers and stuff. It was just after dark, and it was just the atmosphere was just epic. And all the GMR boys, Jack Harrison, shout out, Neil,
Christian
Bryce, Christian with Christian Webb with Lola.
We'll actually drop this video right now.
Yeah.
Right, back into it.
Yeah. They were pad side,
Yeah.
like they were like right next to the chute.
Yeah.
And Rhys turned around in the chute a couple of times, and you
done.
could almost hear them, man. Like there's 5 of them, like 5 of the dudes that we've sort of really got close to since we've been skidding, and and we follow around. We've been to Victoria a couple of times together and all over the state skidding, and they always camp together, hang out, pit together and stuff.
Yep.
And they were just going off, and even Jacko, because obviously we both look up to Jacko because of the way he skids and the way he does all his own
Man's
work on his
mental.
car. Yeah, and just the
Mental.
man at his age, like the effort he's putting in to his car and bettering the car, moving his motor back a couple of inches. He will do things that require so much perseverance and effort to make his car skid 3% better than it did last week.
Yeah.
And we really admire, and Rhys and I both really admire that. And when Rhys drove off the pad, Jacko gave him a high five and he said, "Rhys, that just gave me shivers." It was pretty awesome.
That's bloody awesome, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff, buddy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, that was a good day.
As a bloke that's been in the... How long have you been in the burnout scene for now?
Mate, not even 3 years. I've done 3 summer nats, but like sort of 2.5 years or nearly 3 years.
How do you find the burnout scene over the 2.5 years that you've been in it?
It's been great.
Yeah.
Like, we've had a good time. We've met a lot of people. There's people that sort of have a bit of a facade up and that, a little bit harder to sort of soften up and and get to know and that.
Yeah.
I understand like a lot of the guys that are skidding pro and they're, you know, like big heavy hitters and that. We leave them alone.
Yeah.
You know, like I've got to know Mick Brasher pretty well because we've sponsored Brasher Nats. It's our 3rd year sponsoring the
Yeah,
event.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been really good. He's receptive, and his family are just awesome. Like, just, you know, something sort of. He's just the most level dude. Will, you know, walk into a room full of people, and he'll go out of his way to sort of say hello to you and that.
I've been up at Brash's a couple of times to annoy him with Dad.
Yep.
And sorry, Mick, I'm going to bring this up. I skidded my V8 Statesman that I had. V8 Statesman. Biggest, dirtiest single pegger ever out of his driveway. But skipping back to sponsoring Brasher Nats, mate, that's pretty big. How do you go with sponsoring an event? Because realistically, without sponsors, we don't have burnout events.
Yeah, look, they still run, like obviously, but the sponsorships, I think a lot of people would easily sort of overlook the hidden costs, the time, and the perseverance involved in. And I'll be honest, like I've looked into it a couple of times in a Holden event, and I get the stage. I just throw up a 2-hard basket. I don't have the dedication, the commitment all the time. And there's still, obviously, me and a couple of guys from GMR Skidders have still got a few ideas and a couple of things that we are trying to sort of piece together, but we're nowhere near ready to announce that we're holding a burnout comp. And I know that it costs a lot of money to get them off the ground, and we don't really do it for the exposure, but we just like supporting the scene. So the last couple of years, or 2 or 3 years, since we've been in the scene, we've sponsored Brasher Nats, Thrasher Nats, sponsored 1 or 2 out at Leeton. We sponsored a thing down at Bega. We had a little sapphire skid thing down at Bega. That's guys were messaging about that the other day at the speedway down there. That's supposed to be coming around later.
I think I remember that. Yeah,
later this year. It was stinking hot. It was the hottest day of the year. And we went down there, and all the speedway, all the OG speedway dudes, Mark Ullman, if you were watching this, mate, we appreciate your efforts and that. And him and his mates, like, they're speedway dudes, so they're not right into the burnout scene, but they're trying to, you know, raise a bit of money for the club. And
man. Yeah.
So we sort of helped them, me and Dusty, Nathan Dusty.
That's going to WHA.
Yeah. We helped them promote it and stuff, and they got a fair few cars, but it was like 45 degrees, and it was stinking hot, and like the few cars that said they were going to turn up didn't turn up, which happens, and then it was just that friggin' hot. These guys were out in the sun all day running the event, and the cars we sort of ran out of cars, man. Like people run out of tyres, people's cars were overheating, breaking down and stuff, and so they called it off a little bit earlier, but we're going to do it when it's a little bit cooler this year. While it's still a little bit cooler and it's not so hot, and I think they're going to run it into the night more.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
So it was a full day.
The cars run better.
Yeah, the cars run better.
Yeah. If anybody's ever skidded their car during the day,
to
versus to night time.
Oh yeah,
mate.
Even just when you get the tyres off and just the sparks from the rims and the flames that you wouldn't see, the little flames coming out of the exhaust pipe that you don't see during the day, but you see at night. And it's a heaps better. Skidding at night's awesome. So no, we're keen to get that. That's another one that Rhys will probably be able to hopefully. I think they run under a speedway licensing thing, but we'll work that out. But
have a look into it, boys.
Yeah, but he's a lot of the regional ones he'll be able to skid at. You know, as he gets his ASA license and they run the junior sort of division. So, and I'm more excited about that than skidding myself. Now, because it's just I see what he gets out of it. Yeah. And he's really good at it. Like he plays his video games and goes to a lot of comps and wins a lot of comps on what's the one you do?
CarX.
Yeah, CarX and the other one.
Assetto Corsa.
Assetto Corsa. He's got both setups and that. But the burnout scene's been awesome. Yeah, we've made heaps of good friends.
Have you got a favourite moment? Favourite event?
Oh, I love going to Wagga.
Wagga?
The people, man. Like all the country towns. But I love going to Wagga. Like the Thrashers, the Riverina Thrashers. They're just good people. They're just like a great town, good people, good pad. It's a fun pad, nice long chute. It's wide enough to turn your car around in.
And you have to go back up the chute, don't you?
It's one place where they actually say to you, like, if you want points, you've got to get back up the chute. Yeah. Which is awesome. And, we love going to Wagga. We love going to Bathurst because it's kind of, again, it's a good town. And we stayed at Ridges there last couple of years. And, it's good because we skid at Bathurst and then go up on the roof and have some beers and watch the roll races, watch the real street machines roll races, the real cars. That's what I call everyone, like a lot of these other cars here that are seriously built. Like this thing is fun. Don't get me wrong in that, but you know, it's like it's a skidder through and through. You know, and I wouldn't even really want to drag race it, mate. Even if I put the brakes back on it and that, and I don't really have any desire to sort of drag race it. It's just always going to be a burnout car.
Yeah. But, man. At least you got your toy, at least.
Yeah, well, that, man, I went years without one. Like, I've always had dirt bikes, but then you ride them less and less and less, and it was just an itch that I wanted to scratch. And
then you got one of these.
Yeah, yeah.
A Wednesday night, mate. Load her up on the trailer down to Sydney Dragway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Perfect.
See, I didn't like that at first because of the one skid thing.
Yeah.
But after a while, when you get a few runs on the board and you've blown a few sets off and the car starts working properly and that, it becomes worthwhile.
Yeah.
You go down there, get a little pizza, watch a heap of street racing. There's usually some good 8-9 second cars down there that you can watch race. A few of the boys have actually been racing their skidders down there as well. I haven't taken mine down the strip. And then blow a set off at the end of the night.
Taken his down.
Cameron like 4 times. He was running 12s. He was having the time of his life. Neil took Smoko down.
Yeah.
But he ran like a 12.3 or something. And I think he ran a 12.6 or 12.7. And everything was good. And then he ran a 12.3 and his flashing lights on top flew off.
Oh.
Flew off at like 180 or 200 k's an hour or something. And we were having a joke about it, saying that, you know, they're only rated to 12.5 seconds as flashing lights. So yeah, but that was fun. That was a fun night. That was the last time we all went down there. They had a little GMR skidders kind of theme night, and it was awesome, mate. Like, we love Sydney Dragway. It's an hour down the road. You know, yourself, you're a local here, and it's freeway the whole way.
I think I came and annoyed you boys that night.
Yeah. Heaps of room in the pits and just the pad. Yeah. And the pad's good at night time too. It's one place where I feel comfortable enough. Because I'm a little bit older and a little bit more apprehensive, I won't skid blind through massive plumes of smoke, even if I'm 95% sure of where the wall is or isn't. But at Sydney Dragway, I have a lot more confidence because the big lights down the side of the drag strip.
It lights it up.
You see, but not only that, you know that if you're parallel with the lights, and the pad's so long, that provided you're going up or down and you know which end of the pad you're at, the side walls don't worry you too much at night time.
It helps when there's a slight little breeze.
Yeah, But it can be, that's another thing that City Dragway, as awesome as it is, it can be blowing 30 knot wind in the pits and then you get over the hill and you're onto the pad and there's no wind. But no, we love Sydney Dragway, man. That's our home pad, and we've done, this thing must have blown over 100 sets here, I'd say. Wouldn't you reckon, Rhys?
Oh, yeah, 100.
Yeah, maybe not 100, but like
after when
dozens and dozens and dozens.
Yeah, after when you skid a pad so much as well, you come confident with it. Yeah,
you do. You get the feel for it. And that. But I choked, like Brashnats is this weekend, obviously, and so that's just all we're thinking about at the moment. Like we've been pumping out all this GMR merch. We're going to try and sell some of that down there because GMR's skidders has sponsored the Tyre Hunter Alley, which we're really proud of.
Yeah, did see that.
Yeah, and that was like a few of the guys chipped in for that, which was awesome because, you know, like it's not a cheap exercise, and it got Neil in Smoko a skid too, which was awesome. And it's the first Tyre Hunter Alley, and we want to sponsor it every year. Like if we get the option, we'll sponsor it every year. And just sell a little bit of merch just to try and offset the cost of that a little bit. Yeah. And then and get down there but the last 2 years in a row I've choked at Brashnats both years. Reverse, had to use reverse, It's funny, isn't it, Rhys? Like I can go to Sydney and not use reverse and blow 50 sets of tyres off my car, and the minute I'm qualifying for Brashnats, I get myself in a situation where there's just a wall.
It's the crowd as well, man. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
You look down it and there's people on both sides.
I shit bricks, man. And when the scorecards come out, it messes with me. Best skids I ever do are practice skids. Even at the smaller ones and that. Like if I know someone's scoring me, mentally it just puts me in a whole other place. It's all right. The lead up's nervous, but I get nervous, but I don't know. It's and I always say that I'm not too worried about I'm not there for trophies and stuff, but you want to make finals. Yeah. Because more often than not, the finals are under lights. You get a little spark show. You get one more skid than everyone else to make the finals. But so my goal in burnout comps is making finals. It's not winning finals and winning trophies. Everybody wants to win, but picking up the final spot for me is like a win. I class it as a win. Get another skid. So.
I remember when we did super nuts together. That's Send It Sundays, Man, I was
Yeah.
over the moon getting told that I made top 20.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That
yeah.
was bloody good. And we both got to do the open and burnout together.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was mad.
Yeah, that didn't quite go to plan because that was supposed to be a static burnout for all the sponsors or something.
Yeah.
And then I went out there and Barnesy was on the start line and I said, "Oh man, I just want to send it. Can I just do a burnout?" And he's like, "No, we're supposed to be lining us all up doing like a static skid." And I'm just like, "Oh really? Can I just blow my tyres off?" And he's like, "Yeah, go on, hurry up." So I went out and got the blower set off to open the show, and then went back and well, that was. I remember that night. It was freezing cold.
Oh, it was
It was
freezing.
foggy,
Yeah.
and was it a weeknight? It was a Sunday night.
Yeah, it was a Sunday night,
Yeah.
and there was no wind. The smoke just stayed at the top of the
Do you remember
pad.
that, Rhys?
Yeah.
Yeah, the smoke did. It was real cool. It felt real eerie. It was like something out of an American, a Hollywood blockbuster movie.
I ended up doing that opening skid.
Yeah,
Drove back, looked at me tyres, went, "Yep, we're good to go again."
yeah.
Walked back around. Neil's at the start line screaming at me. I've went on going into the pad before I even entered the pad. Blew the tyres off.
Yeah,
I wore them down that much. Went back around. Parked
Yeah.
back up. Another set on.
That's a bit frustrating. They
Yeah.
did a thing out at Tamworth last time we were out there, where they gave us all an hour to do like warm up skids, they called it.
Yeah.
And you get 60 seconds, and it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's sort of like, oh man, as far as I'm concerned, mate, if you're doing a burnout, you got to pop your tyres. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Especially with these things, they blow tyres like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at about, this thing gets them off in about 90 seconds. Depends, on bitumen it'll blow a set off in about 80 seconds because it's coarse, but on concrete, 90, 95,
Yeah.
you know.
What's your longest lasting set?
Oh man, last time we skidded at Sydney, remember that, Rhys?
Oh, yeah.
The rain took me but it was good because it was a good tester because when I put this out, I used to have heaps of trouble with heat, overheating. And when I put it over to E85, it's been awesome. And since it went to E85, and it was a really good, and I put a little reservoir, like a 5 litre sort of reservoir tank in it as well to expansion tanks to get more water and fluid into the cooling system. But it was over 2.5 minutes to pop the tyres, but it was good because I was expecting it to go into limp mode because I was bashing the limiter most of the time I was out there. And then it got to I could see the timer, at Sydney, you set the timer.
Yeah.
And it was like 2.5 minutes, and the pad was a little bit wet. It wasn't that wet. It was wet enough to take 2.5 minutes to blow a set of tyres. So I ended up slowing right down. I got on the brake and slowed it right down and blew the tyres off before. I didn't want to run out of time. That would have been embarrassing. But
Shortest lasting set.
oh, this 80 seconds.
80 seconds, yeah?
Yeah.
That's still a
On
decent
bitumen.
skid. That's still a qualifying skid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
plenty,
reckon
yeah.
between 60 and 90 seconds. You've got to be.
What size tyres?
I run these 195 50 15s.
Yep.
All 195 55 15s. They're brand new. They're just cheap.
Yeah.
But they're brand new and yeah, they're good.
There's no point in spending it,
Nah,
that much money on tyres where you're just
Yeah.
going to blow them off.
they're predictable too. Because this thing's like I've run second-hand tyres. If I go to the country and we're doing test and tune or practice and stuff, even Hebburn Road, we take second-hand tyres all the time. But they're so unpredictable, the second-hand tyres, and this thing you'll blow one off it in a minute 20, and then you'll be out there for 15 seconds, 20 seconds skidding on one tyre, and the diff on this thing's about this long, and when you're skidding on one tyre, the steering wheel, you might as well just forget about it, Rhys? Like, once you pop one tyre, especially if they're a higher profile, the whole car's leaning one way, and it just does the car just does whatever it wants to do. If you can keep it off the wall, you do it well, but you won't.
World record of donuts, boys.
Yeah, well, they do that at Candos, I think, don't they? Yeah. The donut competition.
Let's jump over to America, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, like that was sort of real spontaneous. Power Crew's Gup ran that comp. He's going to do. He ran that comp where they're going to send 4 cars over.
Yep.
And everybody got behind Jacko, all the GMR skidders boys. And,
I did see there was a
and he
post
missed
put
the
up.
cut because the competition, like the 4 cars he sent, you could never say, oh, shouldn't have sent them. Like, look at the cars he sent. Like, he sent four of the best burnout cars in Australia.
Lynchy, Battleland, it was
Craig in Imposter and
Luxifer, wasn't it?
and Skidmore.
Skidmore,
Yeah. So, like, those 4 cars, you just, they deserve it. Sent them off to America, and then Jacko sort of, like, took it really well, obviously, because, the calibre of cars he was up against for that competition. And he just rang up one day and he said, I think I'm still going to go. Because I offered him a sponsorship. I said, look, if you go, because the Power Cruise deal was not all expenses paid, but I'm pretty sure he's getting your car there and back.
And the storage or something as well.
It was a great price, don't get me wrong, great price, but there's still some other expense involved in packing up and going to America. So I offered him a sponsorship and I said, mate, if you win it, and then he rang me up one night and he said, that sponsorship you offered, does it still stand if I want to go off my own back? And I said, well, yeah, it does. And then we started talking about the nuts and bolts of it and the dollars and cents. And the funny thing with him was he almost missed the boat because it all happened really quick. And there's laws with, I don't know if it's customs or EPA, but there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of red tape involved in sending a car over there. So he, I think there was a formality. They pulled the car apart. They pulled the motor out and sent the motor on a crate separately. So then it was classified as car parts. So they dodged a little bit of red tape, a little bit of legislation with the EPA or customs or something like that. I don't know everything about it. But yeah, so he found a loophole. So me and Cameron Doyle and Jack Harrison, they pulled the motor out, and I just picked up my missus' brand new Patrol, and we had to go to Brisbane. And we had to get it to Brisbane, and we only had a certain amount of time. So we grabbed a few sleeping bags and pillows, and we threw it on, and I met him out at my factory at Tuggerah at like 10 o'clock at night. We drove all night, shared the driving, dropped it off. We were in Brisbane, like, no exaggeration, we were in Brisbane for under 10 minutes. We turned around and drove home, and his car's just up there. He flies out on Friday. So
this Friday?
Yeah, he missed the first Power Cruise, but a lot of them did. A lot of the cars got held up. So he flies out this Friday. I think he's got one comp before we get there. He's going to put the car together. He's got one comp, and then we're going to be there for the Stafford Springs weekend, which is a Cletus event. It's up it's about an hour and a half from Boston or something. It's up sort of inland from Boston and New York on the east coast. And so we're going to make our way up there. We're going to do the New England 900, which is just a Cletus sort of race event on the Friday night. And then the Saturday night, Jacko's Lux in the burnout, burnout rivals, I believe they call the comp over there. And then we're going to do a little bit of sightseeing and stuff, and we're going to meet up with them again the following weekend, because the very next weekend is the second Power Cruise.
Yeah, weekend.
Brainerd. So we'll get to do 2 events in 2 consecutive weekends, plus a bit of other shit. Let's sneak into Vegas for a couple of days and a couple of days in LA, and just, we're only going for 16 nights. And
good family holiday, mate.
It'll be a good family holiday. Nathaniel's already talking about going back for the Freedom Factory event in November. And he's trying to talk me into going by myself, but I don't know what Mum will say about that, Ruth. Maybe
the other way.
Maybe you could go back, mate. Leave Mum at work. We'll see. But I don't know if we'll get to that. But yeah, we just want to support him, mate, and support all the Aussies. Like, I'm keen as mustard. And this is another thing I only just realised. I only just found out the other day. A lot of them are coming home. Like, the Aussie guys are over here at the moment. I'm pretty sure a fair few of them are coming home.
For summer nuts, aren't they?
I don't know about that, but they're coming home in a few weeks. And then, but I don't know who's actually, I'm sure they'll mostly be back for the Power Cruise. But the event the weekend, I don't know if a lot of them are going to be in the event the weekend before Power Cruise or not, but we're pretty keen, Rhys?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
We went a few years ago and hired a car. We didn't go to any burnout comps or anything, and drove around, drove from San Diego to Vegas. That was an awesome drive, just through and then Vegas to San Francisco, through Yosemite National Park and everything. But nah, I wouldn't send my car over there.
No.
I use it too much, man.
Yeah.
Like, we sort of, even now, I think we got started on it before, we sort of got, we're going to America in 6 weeks, and we got 3 events before that. So.
America has such more, how do I say it? They've got everything over there.
Yep.
But we just can't have that over here, should say, if that makes sense.
Yep.
If that makes sense to people, you know.
It's such a big place, big population. And I'm telling you, man, and I was talking to Jack about this, and we're getting pretty excited about it. Burnouts is about to explode in America.
Yeah.
It's like, mate, it was only 10 years ago, the best car shows in America, the burnout comp, you would put wedges under your front tyres and blow a set of tyres on a steel plate and do a static skid. And they've just started taking their foot off the brake, and they've just started sending it, and they've got a couple of people that are sort of pioneering over there, like Cletus and a few of these other guys that are.
Some of them are good.
Yeah, and some of them are good, and they've got some good cars, and it'll take off like nothing else.
Yeah.
And Jack wanted to be a part of that, and I think, and he's kind of did say, like, we sort of spoke about it on the phone. It feels like if you don't go now, if you go next year, it'll be a whole different scene.
Yeah.
There'll be 10 times as many cars and 10 times as much competition, and I know these guys, like Gup's been running Power Cruise over there for years and years and years, and that, but and I've been in the burnout scene that long, so it may even sound like I'm talking out my ass, but I'm sure that burnout scene is on the cusp of exploding over there.
It's gonna, now it is. If you go back, 3 years ago, the burnout scene over there was really nothing.
Yeah.
It was mainly Cletus.
Yeah.
That has made it, really. When you really think about it,
and
Cletus,
like I said, Power Crew's been going for a fair few years. He's been doing Power Crews over there for a fair few years. And
but he took Mick, Lynchy, and he took a couple of others over there.
Crazy.
Crazy, He took those over there.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good thing how he's sort of connecting the Aussie burnouts with the rest of the world. And the Aussie car scene with the rest of the world. It's
I feel
awesome.
sorry for America when Jacko starts that year.
Well,
it is so loud.
We were talking about the other day too. He's sort of, just today actually, I seen him today. I went down there today to see Neil and dropped some stuff off to him for the store and all that, the Brashnats merch store. And Jack said, a fair few of them are coming home. And he's just going over, and I'm like, what's that mean? And he's like, I'm going to be going around to a lot of these events on my own. I'm like, oh, well, there goes 85% of your competition.
Yeah.
If they're in Australia.
If any Americans...
You don't have to try and beat them if they're in Australia.
Exactly.
And you're in America. Like,
if any Americans are watching this, bring earplugs, man. That ute is ridiculously loud.
Yep.
When he has that on... It's two-step, 2A.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he has that on two-step, block your ears.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
It's funny because the new setup where he's got 8 into 1.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, well, it come out the front quarter, but he was getting a suntan from it. Like, he had his arm, like his arm was getting burnt. When
I did see it was coming out of the guard.
His arm was getting burnt, so he shit canned that idea, and now he's got it pointing straight up. But
it pumps mad flames out of that.
But it'll be awesome to see how he goes. Like he's bought a van, and he's made some friends over there already, which is awesome. Like he's got a bloke over there. I'd love to send him a shout out. I know his name; it's on the tip of my tongue. But nevertheless, he knows who he is. He's a detailer, and he's said to Jack, mate, come here, work on your car here, use me hoist, use me workshop. Yeah, because he's obviously got to go over there and put it back together. Yeah. Too. So, but no, we're so excited for him, and just the age of that man. I'll be honest too. This is a bit dark and gloomy, but when I was his age, man, I was hopeless, just pissing me money out the wall. Going out partying and, your dirt bike had seized and you wouldn't fix it for 6 months. You wouldn't ride for 6 months. All your mates would get faster and you'd be standing still. And, and like, mate, he's like, at his age, the commitment levels he's got and that, I'm a big fan, man. You can tell by the way I'm talking about him.
Jack's mad. I've spoken to him a couple of times. We've had some good laughs in the lineup.
He's taking Rhys for skids, hasn't he, mate?
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. They're fun. Those guys are heaps of fun, man. We've had, when we go away, especially to the weekends and that, and whether you camp or stay in motels, Airbnb houses, we've had some awesome weekends away with those guys.
What's it like travelling, boys? Especially being a young bloke as well. What's it like travelling to these events?
It's alright, it's boring.
It's boring in the car?
In the car, but it's good once you get there.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be fun on the way home. Give your TikTok a shout out.
Alright. My TikTok's Maverick Media on TikTok, Instagram, and I think, Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, boys.
Yeah, I like the road trips. I like driving. I love driving.
Yeah. But, at least when you come home, you've got plenty of content to muck around with.
I know.
Yeah, it's been good. You haven't been filming that much lately, have you?
No.
There hasn't been many events.
He's at that age now where he's had a taste of driving, and he's done quite well a couple of times. Like he got 2 sets off down at Stall. He's done, I don't know, 4 or 5 sets at Hebburn Road or something?
I think 4.
Yeah, 4 sets at Hebburn Road. Static skid at Wins and Ats on the last Wins and Ats they ever had before they demolished the joint. And he moves the car in now, the garage and stuff. But he needs to be driving the car. Like he's had a taste of it. And Yeah, and
Got the bug, mate.
Yeah, he's got the bug.
Yeah.
And,
I think we all get that.
yeah, and a few of the other boys are stepping up too. You know, like I've seen Dave Penderby's young bloke's going to be skidding at Thrashing Hats, which is awesome. And Lane Smallman has just been absolutely killing it, like everywhere he skids, and he's only young. And when we're at stall, Lane comes straight up to Rhys, introduced himself, shook his hand, and just a really, really good kid, like really well raised. You can see like he's from down that way, I'm sure. And the way his car's awesome, his dad's car's awesome, and the way he's skidding, and Rhys is sort of, you know, around the scene enough to see his peers getting behind the driver's seat, and he's this close. And so when he gets his AASA license in the next few weeks, well, every comp that he can skid in, he'll skid in. Yeah, like you, mate.
Yeah, man. That's the best thing, man.
We got to still balance it with the dirt bikes a bit because he's still into his racing, but
you got the best bunch of boys around as well, and the burnout thing's just growing as well. Yeah, it's getting bigger, and especially blokes like yourself. You're coming up.
Yeah,
I'm afraid for us. We're in the competition.
Yeah, I know.
You know, if he's gonna skid like how he skidded out at Headburn that time, mate, I'll just park my car up.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah, that'll be fine. When are you back out there? Summer Nats,
man. Yeah, we're back down there at Summer Nats. We're
pretty exciting.
Yeah, we got a lot going on with the car, so.
That last time you skidded at Sydney, that tip in.
Yeah.
Ooh, you won a prize for it or something, didn't you?
Yeah, we won best tip in.
Yeah, that was evil.
Yeah.
We were watching it. It was evil, man.
It was very quick.
Yeah, I know.
There was a part where we were like this, and then there was like, I've lost talent, man. I can't do this anymore.
No, it fully rotated, pulled it off. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
It hooks up perfect. Like, I've got a full lock kit in the front end of mine, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've got full lock kit, VYHSV brakes, so she stopped.
Yeah.
Like, the night that me and you skidded on the GMR night, I ended up out the exit road.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But,
yeah, that was cool.
The burnout scene is amazing, man. I absolutely love it. There's, without it, we wouldn't have met.
Nah.
No.
Oh,
nah.
Nah. And even down, it's funny thing is too, down at Summer Nats, we went down as spectators, and when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, you'll meet someone and you'll ask them to go for a passenger ride in their car and that. But when you get into your 30s and 40s, man, you feel like it's a bit fanboyish, and you don't want to bother people and that. And like, mate, I reckon I went to 10 Summer Nats before I even sat in a car. Yeah. Even just to go around the cruise route for one lap around the cruise route, just getting on the slushies and getting on the piss, and we had great times. And it wasn't like I was walking around the whole time thinking, I wish someone would offer me a passenger ride. But once you do get a car and you get in the scene and you start skidding, it's mate. We haven't looked back. Like, I've done heaps of things 3 times with this. You know, I've had 3 goes at the gearbox, and like just a lot of things, the brakes and stuff.
That's another thing that people don't really realise when they get into it. It's all the little nitpicky stuff that breaks. Yep. And that's another thing I'd love to jump onto. What's your preparation for an event?
Oh, well, ours is almost embarrassingly not much, is it, Rhys?
Nah.
We wash the car. That's what we love about it, but because I'm not super mechanically minded, mate. Like, people think, you own a burnout car, you must know shit about cars and that, but I'm lucky enough to get most of it done for me. Yep. Paul Bruce at High Comp does most of it. We get help from a lot of other people. Bryce at Twin Lakes. Yep. We get help from all the GMR skidders boys, pad side, like in the pits and stuff. But for us, I'll go get tyres. Bryce always hooks me up with tyres. Usually drop the oil out of it. You know, used to do every event, but that's sort of blown out to every 10 skids, 10 sets, the oil in the filter. And tyres, mate. Tyres. Water bottles to drink, and bloody, it's been awesome. Like, and that's what we love about it. And you know what? The times it does break, and when it does break, it's like, that's cool. Like, we broke the steering down at Thrashing Hats last year, and we put it on the trailer, raced straight into town, dumped it at the motel, got a bag of ice and a carton of beer, and headed straight back and watched the pro final, and got on the beers and had the best night. Like, the best night, probably a better night than I would have if I had made the final myself. And we just... Hot dog, mate. It was good. Remember that night?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, under lights, and because that's the other thing, you'd notice this too, Josh. When you're competing and you skid in a car, you miss so much.
Oh, you do. Yeah.
You miss. You want to see this guy skid. but the timing's wrong. You're too busy changing tyres, and you miss so much of it. And that's another thing I say about summer nats. Like some of the best times I had at summer nats was just you rocking up with the boys and pocket full of cash. And
I remember seeing the Snapchats looked like a party at the GMR.
Yeah,
with the GMR.
GMR was cool. We got a bit of rain and stuff, and the boys changed the box.
I did see that,
which was sort of ended up being a waste of time. But Jacko and Cameron Doyle did that for me to try and get me back out there, and which we did. They got the car going and that, but
Cameron skid at Summer Nights was
crazy
with Jacko.
I know, and he lost. He did that one wall tap, and then he just went into absolute beast mode. I think he had 4 wall taps, and wore every one of them with pride. And, but in the end, they're sort of like. If you listen to the Summer Nats, if you watch the Summer Nats video back and listen to the commentary, they're like, "All right, mate,
yeah, hop off the pad now."
Take a hint or something like. They're like, "All right, get off the pad."
Yeah.
And thinking,
I love that ute. How he's it's got a crewman tub on it, doesn't it?
It's crewman tub. It's shortened and with a crewman tub. And oh, mate, on a good day, like Skin NA, he's one of them guys on a good day, man. He could win any comp.
He can steer.
Yeah,
he can bloody
like
steer.
He skidded Amigos. They got that Amigos thing. It's a BA. It's shortened as well.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and when they skid that, they just put it into every single corner. And
I would love to have a go at that. That looks like so much fun.
I'll talk about it. Like they chipped in $700 each or something. I think the thing owes them $2,500 or something. And mate, it just blows set after set after set. If any of their cars are ever out of action, they'll put fuel in Amigos and spend 2 hours getting it ready.
And GMR also has, I think it might be now. Is that AU?
Yeah,
you got
Disturbed.
Disturbed. Yeah.
It's in his yard, and apparently it's still turnkey. Just hasn't come out. Neil's got a few skid cars, and
he's got a VM too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a VM, which is his OG sort of one. He's locked that away. I think there's a bit of sentimental value behind that one.
I don't stalk your account now.
Yeah, no, I do. But no, mate. And so Neil's skidding at Brashnats, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And,
what GMR boys are skidding at Brashnats?
Everyone.
Pretty
much everyone. Like, there's a couple of guys that run the stickers. That aren't skidding.
Where will the boys be able to find you if they want to come down, spend the best $50 of their life?
We're setting up early, right near the scrutineering shed.
Yep.
And so we're doing stubby coolers $5, bucket hats $15, shirts $35.
Yep.
Or all 3 of those for $50. But we're giving out tickets for passenger rides. So the thing is too, we believe scrutineering is going to be open until about midday. So you want to get down there, buy some merch. If you buy a bucket hat, you get 1 ticket. If you buy it on its own. If you buy a shirt, you get 2 tickets. If you buy the package deal, you get 3. And it's a legit comp. All the tickets are going into a barrel, and we're drawing down the barrel. And Neil's first place is a passenger ride in Smoko on the pad.
Yep.
Now, that being said, that you've got to go for a scrutineering by midday if you win the contest, and you'll be the only really fully fledged passenger associated with that vehicle. So if the vehicles are hitting skid row or the playpen, including this thing, you'll be up for another passenger ride, you know.
Yeah.
So you probably get more than you bargained for in winning the if you do win the competition. First place being the passenger ride in Smoko, and second place being the passenger ride in this.
To the people that win, do they need trackies, jumper, and a helmet? Or?
No, they don't need anything because it's all fire suits.
Okay.
We've got a few different size fire suits, and if you're, you've got to be over 18.
Yep.
Because it's a city dragway thing. That's not our rule. But we'll definitely get your fire suit. Everyone's got fire suits.
Yep.
And it'll be awesome. Yeah, Lola, Christian's skidding Lola, Nathaniel's skidding. Yeah, mate, and he's just been killing it. Like you went to Northern Nats. Was it Northern Nats?
See the tip-in on it?
Yeah.
He's not normal.
Yeah, he went back and he took off where Lynchy was taken off, and a few people. Apparently, there's a few guys sitting around and going, "Oh, nobody really starts back there except for Lynchy," and he's like, "Oh, I'll give it a go," and he friggin' nailed it, man. Like, just
mental,
absolutely mental. Like, he must have tipped into around 160. And
the new diff gears work so good for him.
And just the motor setup, like he had some problems with the motor down at Spring Nats at Shepparton and overheating and things like that. And like the bugs that everyone has.
The little things.
Yeah, but it's been flawless. And he's going to be one to watch. The way he set the exhaust up, it's the coolest thing. The coolest thing to happen to burnout cars in the last 6 months, I reckon, is the way he set his exhaust up.
That thing shoots flames crazy.
Especially at night, so...
Yeah. It looks good under lights.
Yeah. He'll be one to watch. And then Caden Lucas got a skid.
Yes,
awesome.
Mr. Bankrupt himself.
Mr. Bankrupt, he's ready to go. Bryce Bryce in Whoops is still he's like taking it right down to the wire, trying to get his car organised.
Yep.
Got Haltech getting wired into it, like literally as we speak. There's a pretty good chance cars getting worked on right now.
Yep.
And yeah, so there's a couple of guys that are running the GMR stickers that aren't skidding.
Yep.
But a lot of us are, and yeah, we're just keen to get down there and just get amongst the people and
Yeah, good. Yeah.
try it this new.
And the other thing is that it's the biggest one-day burnout event in Australia.
People say the world.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. It's the. You will never go to another event at Sydney Dragway with that many people.
No way.
No way.
No.
You won't. You will never
No.
get that many people there.
The atmosphere's just off its head.
Yeah, and you get to go in this.
Yeah, and there's a few cars, and I won't mention them, but there's burnout cars that like because we do a fair few events, you know, because we're skidding naturally aspirated and we're doing it on a budget. There's cars that just you do not see anywhere, but they're always at Brashnats.
Yep.
Like religiously, they'll skid Brashnats, you know, and they might skid 1 or 2 other events a year, but they'll be at Brashnats.
Blowers galore.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty intimidating skidding NA there, but it's still awesome and it's still fun. But it's we feel privileged to sort of be in that company, you know, to be amongst those people and sort of rubbing shoulders with them, and we're obviously playing the game on a different level than what they are. But
What group are you going out in, or what time?
we've requested to be in the later groups,
Yep.
Mel and I, because of this contest we got running. And
Yep.
I think Tori's going to let us go into later groups.
Yeah, you mad.
But this thing, the good thing about it, a lot of people hold back on the Tyre Hunter Alley and even the playpen. Like a lot of years of Brashnats, a playpen. It's not like there's people queuing up for miles to smack because everyone's saving their cars and that. And that's one good thing. That's one good thing about playing the game at this level. We'll smash the playpen all day.
Oh yeah, have fun, mate. Yeah.
And if the car breaks on the playpen and I don't get to do my qualifying skid, I'll be kicking myself. But what do you do, man? Like that's like we'll go there and enjoy the car.
Go up and do the donut eating contest, mate.
Yeah, go. I thought about it. I'll get bloated. Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I look like I could eat 1,000 donuts, but I'll save me choking for on the pad.
Where will Maverick Media be, mate? Will he be in the crowd? Will
Yeah,
he be
definitely.
In the pits? Yeah.
Crowd.
Yeah.
All
Beautiful.
day.
Will there be a camera?
Yeah, camera.
Yeah, there'll be a camera?
Not
Yeah.
just an iPhone.
Just an iPhone, mate. We all start somewhere.
Yep.
That's fine. Some of these iPhones can do more than.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than that.
Yep.
Yeah, boys.
As mustard.
All right, boys.
Oh man.
We might end it there.
Thanks for having us.
No,
yeah.
thanks for jumping on.
Get down to Brashnats.
Yeah.
And get on down there. Come get some GMR Skidders merch. Meet the guys and have a good time. Support the Brashnats, the Brasher family, because they work their asses off. I know Linda and Tori and Mick, like Mick rang me the other day, just stressing out. Man, I don't think people realise the work that goes into these events, you know. And let's get down and support them.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Is there anybody you'd like to see on the podcast?
I'm looking forward to Nathaniel. I know you got Nathaniel booked in.
Yeah, I get to annoy him.
Yeah, he's good. Because he was skidding the Jemmy NA when around the same time, he bought a little bit, not long after this, and we went to a lot of comps together. Like, I got to know him straight away. I hit him up straight away because he just sort of came onto the scene after me, and because I haven't been around that long, you know, most people come along before me, and he come along after him. So I sent him a message on Messenger, and I said, "Hey man, like I love the Jemmy, like we should do a friendly call out at the Sydney thing," and we did it. Met him in the pits, and we've been good mates ever since. And he's obviously stepped it up a few times. We've been left in the shadows, but nah, he's we're keen to see him on the podcast. And I don't know, Caden Lucas said he might be interested.
Yeah, well, I'll go annoy Mr. Bankrupt himself.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you'd like to see on the podcast?
Jack Harrison.
Jack
definitely.
Harrison, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll see what I can
You
do.
might have to come to America with us.
Come to America.
and do a podcast over there.
Mid skid, eh?
Yeah.
Podcast mid skid.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. If you want to find GUNLS1, Facebook boys.
Yep.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it? Rhys?
I'll open up a
He'll open
Instagram
up his-
account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram, boys, get onto it. Get down to Brashnats. $50. Honestly, what have you got to lose?
Hat, shirt, stubby cooler, and 3 tickets to go for a passenger
Possibly
ride.
for a ride in this.
Yep.
Mate,
Get
what
on
good
down
more
there.
can you ask for? Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is High Performance Garage Podcast.